Get ready to be motivated this morning. A mother of 7 is on a mission to not only celebrate the courage of women, but to encourage them to stretch their limits.
Her near-death experience led her to climbing major mountains and breaking world records. Jen Drummond is the first woman in the world to climb all of the second highest summits in 7 continents. It was this horrific car crash 5 years ago when her vehicle flipped 3 times that took her breath away.
Should have taken my life. Thank God that it didn't. And that accident really woke me up to living. I realized I don't get to choose when I leave this world, but I sure get to choose how I show up. And so I started doing an internal audit of what was I doing with my time? Was I happy? Was I making the most out of this one life that we're given? And there was some adjustments that needed to be made.
This is where those life adjustments led Jen after she decided to push herself physically for her 40th birthday. She was training for a mountain called Ama de Blanc in Nepal, but one conversation changed everything.
So I'm doing math with one of my children, and he's complaining. I'm like, listen, buddy, we do hard things. You've got this. And he looks at me and he goes, if we do hard things, why are you climbing a mountain called Ama de Blanc instead of a real mountain like Mount Everest? I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Ama de Blanc, not Ama de Blanc, but thank you, honey. And you finish your math homework and we'll look at Mount Everest. So then he finishes math, we look at Everest, and I decided, you know what? If that's a real mountain to him, maybe I should climb it because it just shows that we're capable of doing whatever we put our mind to.
That challenge set her boots in motion for unbelievable climbs, setting her dreams soaring to new heights. And yes, she conquered Mount Everest. She says she actually needed that experience to help her achieve the even tougher climb at K2 in Pakistan, all while continuously training and balancing the duties of her job and those of a loving mom.
My training plan had to be modified. When my children had soccer practice, I would be the mom with a backpack and a little step at the sideline, and I'd be doing my steps while I was watching and cheering on a soccer game. I would have to break my training up. So instead of maybe getting a long 6-hour training day in, it might be a couple hours before I bring them to school, a couple hours while they're in school, a couple hours here or there.
Her training paid off. Jen is the 2nd female to summit Mount Tyree in Antarctica and only the 3rd American female to summit K2. Her first attempt was devastating.
We had a teammate on our team get frostbite, and he actually ended up losing fingers and a hand because of it. And then another teammate on the team died in an avalanche. And so I was on the mountain, and we had these tragedies happen, and I had to decide, was I going to climb or was I going to take care of the people that I had become friends with? And so I decided it was people over peaks.
She did complete it later on a 2nd try, and it became more meaningful in more ways than one.
About a month before I left for K2, I was introduced to a female that wanted to climb the mountain, and she didn't have the resources to do it. And she'd be the first Pakistani female to stand on top of K2, which is her home country mountain. So I fundraised and raised money to be able to help put her on top of that mountain. So when I climbed and summited K2, I was happy. When I saw the first Pakistani female on the top of K2, that I was a part of that journey, tears, like nonstop. And that gave my failure purpose.
She hopes we can all learn from this and turn failures into successes. Preparing for such dangerous and odds-defying climbs inspired Jen to motivate others. She wrote her own book and has a podcast to help you seek your summit, but she realizes is different for everyone.
Take baby steps for yourself. I mean, here's where I started, as silly as this sounds, at stoplights. I would use those stoplights for a gratitude list and just take deep breaths and just focus on myself and give that time to me. And then you get comfortable with that. And then you can start doing like 5 minutes in the morning, and then it becomes 10 minutes in the morning. And all of a sudden you realize those little moments really fuel you for the whole day, and you can't afford not to take them.
She wants to encourage other moms that it's okay to pursue time for yourself and passions. She says it has made her a better mom.
my story was kids and then me. And I started to shift, which is uncomfortable at first, to go me and then kids. And we all benefited so much more because I was always full and could always pour into what they needed because I took care of what I needed. And now I'm demonstrating to them how to do them and what they need before they give and don't have anything left to give.
Jen didn't have much left at the top of all those mountains, but she took time for what matters most, her children, and she posed with a photo of her 7 kids on all 7 summits.
She actually keeps her own blog so that you can just keep up with all of her motivation talks.
Wow.
And wow, she's ready to motivate you.
Yeah, she's got a lot of good life lessons. I love what she said about just stopping at the stoplights and taking that moment. I think so many of us feel like we have to check our phone, you know, when we're sitting at the stoplight, but just kind of
have a gratitude list instead, right? So continue the conversation with us at 12:30 for Lunch for the Soul. She'll talk more about faith on those mountains and how that really made a big difference. Gave her strength to pull it all off.
All right, thanks, Melissa.